Welcome to this IELTS Listening Practice Test, brought to you by Spinta, your partner in English exam success. This test simulates the real IELTS listening experience with authentic question types, timing, and difficulty levels you'll encounter on exam day. You'll hear the audio only once, just like in the actual test, so stay focused and keep your pencil ready. Remember to read the questions carefully during the preparation time and transfer your answers accurately. This practice will help you build confidence, improve your listening skills, and familiarize yourself with the IELTS format.
Part 1. Now look at Part 1. You will hear a woman calling an animal shelter to inquire about adopting a pet. You will now have some time to look at the questions.
Good morning, Oakwood Animal Shelter. Kwame speaking. How can I help?
Hello. I'm calling because I saw a dog on your website that I might be interested in adopting. I was hoping to arrange a visit.
That's wonderful news. We love finding forever homes for our residents. I can certainly help you with that. Can I start by taking your name?
Yes, it's Zofia Nowak.
Zofia. And could you spell your surname for me, please?
Of course. It's Nowak.
Got it. And just for our records, can I get your address?
I live at 42 Kingfisher Way.
42 Kingfisher Way. Thank you. And do you remember the name of the dog you were interested in?
Yes, I believe his name was Buddy. A medium-sized terrier mix?
Ah, Buddy. Yes, he's a lovely boy, full of character. I see here on his profile there's a note that he's a fantastic dog, but he really needs a home without any cats. Would that be suitable for you?
Yes, that's perfect. We don't have any other pets.
Excellent. So the next step would be to book what we call a meet and greet appointment. This isn't a commitment, it's really just an informal meeting to see if you and the dog are a good match for each other. We want to make sure it's the right fit for everyone.
That makes perfect sense. Is there anything I need to bring with me to that?
Yes, if you could just bring a form of photo ID, like a driving license, and also a recent utility bill with your address on it. We just need to verify a few details before proceeding.
Photo ID and a utility bill. No problem. And if all goes well, what is the fee for adoption?
Our standard adoption fee is £250 for an adult dog.
$250. Okay. And what does that cover?
It's quite comprehensive. It covers a full health check, microchipping, flea and worming treatment, and of course, their initial vaccinations. It really helps us cover the costs of their care while they're with us.
That sounds very reasonable. Could you just confirm the location of the shelter for me?
Of course. We're on London Road, right opposite the city's main bus station. You can't miss us.
Opposite the bus station. Great. So when would be a good time to come in?
Let's see. We have an opening this Friday afternoon at 2:30 p.m. Would that work for you?
Yes, Friday afternoon is perfect. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Zofia. We've booked you in, and we look forward to seeing you then.
Part 2. Now look at Part 2. You will hear an event organizer giving a welcome talk at a local zero-waste fair. You will now have some time to look at the questions.
Good morning everyone, and a huge welcome to the first ever Greendale Zero Waste Fair. My name is Aiko, and I'm so thrilled to see so many of you here today. Our goal for this event is simple: to inspire and equip you to live a life with less waste. Let's start with a quick tour of the venue. Please look at the plan on the screen. We're standing in the entrance hall right now. As you walk into the main hall, you'll see a large area on your left, which is our bulk food store. This is at point C on the plan. Here you can buy everything from pasta to nuts, all without packaging. On the opposite side of the hall, at point E, is where our fantastic DIY cosmetics workshop is taking place. You can learn to make your own deodorant and lip balm using natural ingredients. Now, back in the entrance hall, just to the right of the main doors you came through, is our wonderful clothing repair station. That's at point B. Our volunteers can help you fix that broken zip or patch those jeans. And finally, if you have any questions at all, our information hub is located at the very back of the main hall, straight ahead of the entrance. That's at point F. Now, a core principle of the zero waste movement is the quote 5 R's: refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle, and rot. We have a series of short talks today focusing on these. At 11 a.m. we have a talk called The Minimalist Wardrobe, which is all about how to own fewer clothes, really focusing on that principle of reduce. Then at 1 p.m., in our garden corner, there's a fantastic demonstration called Composting in the City. This is a practical guide to the principle of rot, turning your food scraps into valuable garden soil. Finally, at 3 p.m., our last talk is Saying No to Junk Mail. This one is all about tackling waste at the source, which is a perfect example of the first and most important R, refuse. The overall mission today is to give you practical tools to cut down your household waste. We're not aiming for perfection, just progress. To help you get started, many of the vendors today, especially in the bulk food store, are offering a special 10% discount to anyone who has remembered to bring their own containers. It's our little way of saying thank you for making the effort. I also want to give a huge thank you to our main supporter for this event, the local city council, whose funding has made this all possible. We hope you have a wonderful, inspiring day. Please ask questions, get involved, and enjoy yourselves. Thank you.
Part 3. Now look at Part 3. You will hear two architecture students, Layla and Marco, discussing their project on green architecture with their tutor, Dr. Chen Wei. You will now have some time to look at the questions.
Come in. Layla, Marco. Take a seat. You wanted to discuss the focus of your presentation on green architecture.
Yes, Dr. Wei, we've been reading, and we got a bit confused about the difference between green and sustainable architecture. They seem to be used interchangeably.
That's a very perceptive question. Many people do use them that way. But for academics, there's a key distinction. Green architecture usually refers to the building itself, its energy efficiency, the materials used, its impact on the immediate environment. Sustainable architecture, however, considers the broader context. It looks at the social and economic impacts, as well as the environmental ones. It's really about the scale of the focus.
So sustainability is the bigger picture. That's much clearer, thank you.
I find the social aspect really interesting. I was reading about biophilic design, and how incorporating natural light, plants, and natural materials into buildings can have a measurable positive effect on the health of its occupants. It lowers stress and can even increase productivity.
An excellent point. The well-being of people is a core part of true sustainability. So what do you see as the main barriers to wider adoption of these principles?
Well, from what I've read, the biggest hurdle still seems to be the money. Many of these technologies and materials have high initial investment costs, even if they save money in the long run on energy bills. It's that upfront expense that often deters developers.
Indeed, the economic argument is crucial. So for your presentation it will be good to showcase some landmark buildings that have overcome this. Have you found any good case studies?
Yes, we found a few. There's the Edge building in Amsterdam. It's famous for its smart technology, particularly its dynamic glass facade that adjusts to the sun to control heat and light, which drastically cuts energy use.
And the Pixel building in Melbourne. Its most famous feature is probably its advanced rainwater harvesting system. It's designed to be water neutral, which is incredible for an office building.
Then there's Manitoba Hydro Place in Winnipeg, Canada. Given the cold climate, its most impressive feature is its passive solar design. It's engineered to maximize the sun's heat in winter, using a huge south-facing glass atrium.
And we can't forget the California Academy of Sciences in San Francisco. It's iconic for its huge green roof, which provides insulation, captures rainwater, and is a habitat for local wildlife.
An excellent selection. You've got examples from different climates with different technological focuses. So how will you structure this?
We thought we should start with a clear definition of the key terms, like we just discussed, so the audience is on the same page.
Very sensible. What's next?
Then we present our 4 case studies. To give it a logical flow, we decided to organize them by climate, showing how green design adapts to different environmental challenges, from hot and dry to cold and wet.
And to finish, we want to look forward and discuss the future potential of these ideas for large-scale urban planning, not just individual buildings.
Definition, case studies by climate, and a conclusion on future potential. That sounds like a first-class structure. I look forward to seeing it.
Part 4. Now look at Part 4. You will hear a university lecture on the topic of nudge theory in behavioral economics. You will now have some time to look at the questions.
Good morning. In today's lecture, we're going to delve into one of the most influential concepts to emerge from behavioral economics in recent decades: nudge theory. So what is a nudge? As defined by its creators Richard Thaler and Cass Sunstein, a nudge is any aspect of the choice architecture that alters people's behavior in a predictable way without forbidding any options or significantly changing their economic incentives. To put it simply, it's about influencing choices without using financial incentives or direct commands. The whole theory is built on the now widely accepted psychological insight that human beings are not the perfectly rational decision-makers that classical economics once assumed us to be. We are influenced by biases, by emotion, and by the context in which we make choices. This leads us to the central concept of choice architecture. This refers to the practice of influencing choice by changing the way options are presented to people. It's the deliberate design of the environment in which we make decisions. Within this framework, there are several key mechanisms. One of the most powerful is the use of default options. We humans have a strong tendency towards inertia. We tend to stick with the preset option. Making a beneficial choice the default is therefore a powerful nudge. Another key concept is social proof. We are social creatures, and we are heavily influenced by what we perceive others to be doing. Simply telling people about a positive social norm can encourage them to conform to it. So let's look at how these principles are applied. The most famous example of using default options is in organ donation. Countries that have moved to an opt-out system, where you are assumed to be a donor unless you explicitly state otherwise, see dramatically higher participation rates than opt-in countries. A classic example of altering the physical environment is the cafeteria nudge. Simply placing healthy foods like fruit and salads at eye level and moving less healthy options to less convenient locations has been shown to significantly shift what people choose to eat. And to see social proof in action, we can look at tax collection. In the UK, the Behavioral Insights team found that sending letters to late taxpayers, which included a sentence stating that most people in their town had already paid their taxes on time, significantly increased tax compliance. It's a simple, low-cost, but highly effective intervention. Of course, this field is not without its critics. The main ethical concern is that it is paternalistic, that it involves governments or corporations steering people's choices, even if it's for their own good. Proponents argue that choice architecture is unavoidable. Some option always has to be the default. Some food always has to be at eye level. The question is whether it is designed randomly or with people's best interests at heart. To counter the ethical concerns, Thaler and Sunstein insist on a key principle. All nudges must be transparent and never misleading. It should be easy for people to go their own way and opt out of the suggested course of action if they choose to. This principle of libertarian paternalism is at the heart of the ethical debate.
And pencils down. You've survived another IELTS listening marathon. If your brain feels like it just ran a mental obstacle course, congratulations. That means you're doing it right. Want to torture yourself with more tests? We mean enhance your skills? Head to Spinta.org. That's Spinta.org, where we've got reading, writing, speaking practice, and vocabulary games that are actually fun. Yes, fun and IELTS in the same sentence. We're rebels like that. Thanks for listening with Spinta. Now go treat yourself to something nice. You've earned it. Spinta. Push forward. Achieve more.